Good day, I'm Theodore Henry and this is your JIS News for Friday, October 27, 2023. Regulations to govern the National Identification Systems, NIDS, are expected to be brought before Parliament before the end of the year. In an update, Minister with Responsibility for Digital Transformation, Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, says all 4 regulations are being finalized. The regulations outline the process of application, enrollment, cancellation, and renewal of the identification card. They also speak to security standards, processes, and practices that NIRA is expected to abide by. These regulations will establish the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, and the National Identification and Registration Inspectorate, NIRI. Minister Morris-Dixon says the next phase after the approval of the regulations will be the production and distribution of cards.
Obviously, in the first part, we're going to go slow. It's not going to be, we want 1 million people in 1 year or anything like that. We will start with the site that we have at CSO, at Central Sorting Office, and over time we will build out to other locations where the NIDS cards can be had all across Jamaica through our post offices.
Minister Morris-Dixon was speaking at this week's post-cabinet press briefing. Meanwhile, tender has been put out for the retrofitting of 20 post offices to be used as enrollment centers. Minister Morris-Dixon gave the reminder that the NIDS card is a voluntary process.
Now, I know that when Jamaicans see the card and see what it can do, and as we layer on more services onto it, that people will want to have it. But no one is going to be forced to have the card. The card is voluntary.
The National Partnership Council is to be institutionalized to further strengthen the framework underpinning its function. The aim is to complete the process within the current fiscal year. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says this process will provide a more structured framework with respect to the Council's operations.
There are many stakeholders who are not elected, but who have a significant voice, influence, and interest in national outcome. And when there is not a structured way of ensuring that all stakeholders have a say, then you can have a very chaotic democracy. And countries that have sought to entrench a formal system of social partnership or social dialogue tend to have a better outcome.
Mr. Holness was chairing a meeting of the National Partnership Council on Wednesday. He emphasizes that since the establishment of the Council in 2011, there has been meaningful social dialogue among stakeholders. He strongly clarifies that the partnership is not a way for the government to impose its position.
In this process, all views contend, even if they're adversarial, even if they are conflicting. But what is brought to bear is the eyes, ears, and reasoning of all stakeholders to come to positions. And so the strategy and the structure of social partnerships work, and I believe Jamaica would be a very good example of a country that has pursued this to its economic development and social and political development.
The National Partnership Council consists of representatives from the government, trade unions, parliamentary opposition, private sector, church, youth and women's groups, environmentalists, academia, and civil society. 6 new compressed natural gas CNG buses will be added to the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC's fleet by the end of October. Minister of Transport Darrell Vaz provided the update during a press conference on transport matters held at his ministry on Tuesday. He added that a depot for CNG buses was being constructed at the Portmore depot.
So it means that we can put those 6 buses on the Portmore Spanish Town routes and then move buses that are currently serving that area into other areas that are short of buses.
Minister Vaz said the buses would go a far way in improving efficiency and reducing wait time on critical routes. The JUTC received 50 new buses in August, and the Transport Minister promised to expedite previously announced plans for the acquisition of another 100 buses next year to secure more units before the end of 2023. These 6 buses are the result of that, and Minister Vaz says another 14 are to arrive by year end.
We are in the process of exploring the possibilities of a significant amount of buses to arrive in the 24-25 financial year, which is April 24 to March 25. And I'm hoping that if all goes well before Christmas, I'll be able to make an announcement that will make the public transportation commuters very happy for Christmas, knowing that better days are coming.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is ramping up mobile health screenings across the island. The screenings will be administered through the regional health authorities. Health and Wellness Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says this is being done to increase early detection and treatment of ailments that may be affecting the population and therefore save and prolong lives.
If you look at the mortality rate and the causes of death in our society, you realize that a lot of it is lifestyle related, and a lot of it, in terms of premature mortality, is a consequence of ignorance, not knowing your numbers, as they say. And we have to intervene and disrupt that trend. And the way to do that is to motivate and incentivize people to get screened while we provide treatment.
Minister Tufton was speaking at a National Health Fund NHF ceremony on October 24. He said 2 approaches were being taken to execute the health screenings. This involves healthcare staff visiting larger town centers with mobile health clinics and the Know Your Numbers trucks targeting smaller communities.
We've converted some of the COVID buses into screening trucks, and they will go into the malls, the plazas, the small communities, and do execution around incentivizing screening.
Minister Tufton is encouraging Jamaicans not to fear going to the doctor for a checkup, but to view this as a life-saving activity. Several government entities have been awarded for their commitment to excellence, with the National Health Fund taking the bulk of the awards. Public sector entities that demonstrated outstanding performance the past year were recognized at the 2023 Service Excellence Awards recently. The National Health Fund NHF received 4 awards for operational excellence, diversity, equity and inclusion, digital innovation and modernization, and customer service.
The philosophy we have at the NHF is that every person deserves to be treated with respect. And I've often said that if you care, you don't need customer service training, because you're going to treat everybody with courtesy.
For their part, the Registrar General's Department RGD walked away with the Public Education and Communication and Customer Engagement Awards. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service was given the Website of the Year award for its data-driven approach to strengthening the relationship with customers and providing greater accessibility for the disabled community. The Service Excellence Award was copped by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. The Ministry of Education was recognized as having the best front office decor for 2023. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service won the same award in 2022 and was recognized in this year's ceremony. And finally, select tax offices will open tomorrow as Tax Administration Jamaica TAJ continues to provide weekend services every last Saturday of the month for the 2023-2024 financial year. The TAJ says the following tax offices will be open for business between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturday, October 28. St. Andrew or Constant Spring, Montego Bay, Mandeville, Savannah Lamar, and St. Anne's Bay. The Portmore Tax Office will also continue its weekly Saturday operations with adjusted business hours of 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. According to the TAJ, the Saturday service enhancement is a welcomed feature of month-end weekends for many taxpayers as it provides a convenient option for doing business with the entity. Taxpayers can access same-day driver's license processing at all but the Savannah Lamar branch, as well as motor vehicle registration and other motor vehicle transactions. The TAJ is also accommodating taxpayer registration number (TRN) applications along with various tax and fee payments. Additionally, motorists who have not collected their printed driver's license cards are able to do so at any of the listed locations if their applications were dropped off there. Audit and compliance activities will not be available during the Saturday operations. The TAJ is reminding people that they may choose to avoid a tax office visit entirely by conducting several transactions online. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.